Hi, this is Greg Lewis at MetaStock. Today we're going to talk about the best-selling add-on ever for MetaStock. Okay, Performance Systems Plus. What is it? How might it help your trades, and why might you want to buy it? Well, let's go ahead and dig right in. First, a couple things up front. One, this is an old box. We don't any longer sell it in a package. You can actually download it like any of our add-ons or products here at MetaStock, so save a few trees. Two, you might notice that I have a Mac here, and in fact, you can run MetaStock on a Mac, but it requires that you're running Windows. I'm the marketing guy, so I have a Mac, and I run Windows on my Mac using parallel software. If you want to find out more about how to run MetaStock on a Mac, go ahead and check out the link below. Anyway, let's go ahead and dig right into the presentation. So before I open up MetaStock, I just want to take a few moments with the PowerPoint presentation, then we'll move right into the software. It's certainly worth noting before we begin that TSA Group are the one who developed Performace Systems Plus. We have a very long relationship with TSA Group, quite a bit longer than my time here at MetaStock. I believe it was around 2000 or 2001, and that group's headed by Robert Dedman, and they've developed several things for us in addition to Performance Systems Plus. Most recently was the Ichimoku Master. We just launched that about a month ago. If you'd like to know more about the Ichimoku Master, I've got a link below and you can check it out. You probably have heard of Performance Systems Plus, especially if you're a longtime MetaStock user. MetaStock came in version 7 in about 2001 with 26 performance systems. They were called performance systems. And subsequent to that time, we came out with an add-on with an additional 54 systems called Performance Systems Plus. And as I mentioned before, it is the best-selling add-on of all time for MetaStock. And that's no small thing because MetaStock's been around for 30 plus years, and to be the best-selling add-on in all that time says a lot about what Performance Systems Plus is to our client base and how effective it can be. So the first thing you should know about Performance Systems Plus is it's a lot of systems. That's really what sets it apart from a lot of our other MetaStock add-ons. As I mentioned before, 26 originally came with MetaStock, and then 54 were subsequently released as Performance System Plus systems for a total of 80 systems. I'm not going to go into the specifics on these systems. You can probably see that you recognize a few. None of them are proprietary. We didn't develop them. They were all readily available at the time, but they were curated. And basically, the goal of Robert Dedman was to take from the hundreds of, probably thousands of systems out there, to combine them in a small package that would be useful to traders and to MetaStock, and that's what he's done. So how exactly did Robert Dedman decide which systems to include with Performance Systems Plus? Well, he took a whole bunch of systems and tested them against a whole bunch of securities, over 10,000 in combination. Without getting into too much detail about how the test was run, it was daily stock data. No stops were included. There were no penny stocks. And the system was deemed desirable if a trade efficiency was positive for more than 50% of all stock analyzed. Well, what is trade efficiency? For the sake of this test, if a system's profit per day in a trade exceeds the buy and hold profit per day. So basically, if it beats a buy and hold strategy, which obviously that's what we want to do with MetaStock, anybody trading. Another important thing to understand about Performance Systems Plus is it takes advantage of all the great things about MetaStock. All the systems, all 80 of them, allow you to scan and test, and you can take advantage of expert advisors, and none of them are a black box. They're all open system. You're welcome to see how they work. As well, you can customize them if you so desire. So let's go ahead now and take a look at Performance Systems Plus. Okay, so now we're in MetaStock. Now, for the sake of this presentation, I'm not going to talk a lot about the specifics of MetaStock. I will be doing things like scanning and exploring and talking about the expert advisor. If you want to know more about these things, we have a lot of resources, and I've included links below. So if you're not familiar with MetaStock, we're flying by this a little bit, go ahead and check those links out, and I think that'll be helpful. All right, so here we go. If you open up the system test, the first thing you're going to see are a bunch of systems here on the left, and every one that begins with PS here is a Performance Systems or Performance Systems Plus test. Now, as you can see, there's 80 of them in there. It's quite a few. And the first question you might be asking yourself is, well, which one of these do I use? Which is a pretty good question. So the first thing I'm going to suggest you do when you first get Performance Systems Plus is test all these against, let's say for the sake of this demonstration, the S&P 500. And there's a lot there. Fortunately, you don't have to click on all of them. You can just shift click all 80 of them, and you can go ahead and run a system test. Now, again, I wasn't going to get too much into what system testing is, but you should always run a test that's something realistic, and the MetaStock Systems Tester allows you to do that. Today, I'm running an initial equity of 100,000 with a percentage of available equity at 25%, $8 for a transaction. That seems about right, and I'll go ahead and hit OK and start the system test. All right, now to be sure, we're running 80 systems against 500 securities, and that's with the best processor going to take a little bit. So I'm not going to sit here and make you wait through this. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward the video and look at the report. Okay, so here's our system report. Now, as I mentioned, we're running 500 securities against 80 systems, and when you do that, the report's going to be a little complicated, and you need to understand that. So the first thing we're going to see here is this is a list of all the systems that we tested. Up top here is a chart showing the average net profit, and if I sort on that, we can immediately see that some tests did pretty well so far as average net profit is concerned. The first one on the top here is the PS derivative moving average. That looks pretty good, and that's certainly something I might want to look into. But one thing I do notice here is under average trades, that is the amount of trades it took over the period. Oh, by the way, I think I did 250 periods on this test, just for the sake of brevity. So over that period, with the 500 securities, it only averaged one trade per year. So I really wanted to trade more than that, probably. So I'm going to look at the second one here, the Pattern Trading System 1, which did pretty well on an average net profit and averaged 30 trades. So if you go ahead and view that, you're now digging down to the securities that one test ran against. And this is a list of 500. So if we go ahead and this chart is, again, net profit. And if we sort on that, we'll see we had something that did pretty well. Right on the top is Micron. Let's go ahead and look at Micron and find out more about it. So here in the system tester report, there's a lot of information. You can see very specific things like the profits, the number of long trades it took, the reward risk index. I can see that it did pretty well. One thing I'm really interested in is the equity line. And of course, you probably know that you want your equity line to be a good, strong upward trend. And this one actually looks pretty good. So I'm kind of interested now in this system and in the security. So let's have a closer look. All right, so here's the chart of Micron. It's not telling us much now. I mean, it looks promising, but the first thing you're going to want to do is use the expert advisor to go ahead and apply the indicators for the system we're interested in. And the system that it came up with was Pattern Trading System 1. So let's go ahead and attach that. All right, now I don't know a lot about Pattern System Trading 1, but I can see right away it's laying down indicators to buy as well as to exit. So there was a buy indicator about 5-6 days ago. Here's one, it exited here. Here's another one that exited up here, one down here that it exited up here. So it seems to be doing pretty well. You know, without looking too closely at the security, this seems to be a system that works pretty well with the security. And that's okay, and that's good information. But really, do we want to take this? Well, first of all, it's not even telling us to take a trade. And how much do we really know about the security and about this system? So you might want to take it another step further. This is a lot of good information we have right now. I mean, we know of the, first of all, out of the thousands of systems in the world, we started with 80 that were already tested to be fairly effective. And then we took those 80 and determined, you know, in the last year, which one will work best with the S&P 500. And we've drilled that down to that one system and now to this one security. But maybe you want to take a trade today, and this isn't telling us to take a trade right now. So the way we figure that out is we go into the Explorer and explore for today what securities will take a hit on the criteria that system sets out. So let's go ahead and do that now. And so you go to the Explorer and you find that system. There it is, Pattern Trading System 1. And I'm going to go ahead and do, again, the S&P 500 and start the exploration. Now again, this is going to take a moment because it's one system searching today's stocks, all 500, to see if there's a hit. But while it's going, you can see some things right away. It shows you the number of instruments it's done, how many instruments total you're going to do, the percent it's completed, which you're already up halfway through it, and it gives a little information right here. So if we wait just another moment, it'll be done with the exploration. Okay, exploration is done. So looking at this report, we can see a fairly lengthy list of securities that had a hit today for the Pattern Trading System 1. Now, clearly you could just open each one of these up and check them out individually, but probably a better way to do it would be to throw these back into the system tester and determine, well, okay, so not only which ones had a hit today, but of those ones that had a hit today, which back tested favorably. And that's what I'm going to do right now. And the way you do that is you go back to the system tester. You select the system you want, Pattern Trading System. Okay, and I can go ahead and test it against the last exploration, which came up with 27 securities. So that should go pretty quick. And again, when you're doing trades or doing system tests, you want to kind of make sure that it's using criteria that are representative of the way you trade and of real-world trades, and that's what the system tester allows you to do. All right, I selected too much here. All right, let's start the system test. Okay, so now we're getting down to the crux of the matter. This report shows us the list of securities that hit for a buy signal today right in front of you, and they're sorted by net profit. So right away we can see the security that did the best for that test for today was PayPal, which did $9,000 in profit and did 34 trades over that time period. So let's have a look at that. Again, I'm kind of interested in the equity line right away, and that equity line looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and look at this security, PayPal. All right, here's PayPal, and let's go ahead and add on the expert advisor for the system we're interested in, which again is the Pattern Trading System. And have a closer look. All right, so again, I'm not advising you to buy this stock, but this is interesting. And let's kind of take a second to look again at what we did. We started with a bunch of securities and narrowed it down with a bunch of systems, and we narrowed it down right to one today that could be a possible trade that helps you out right away. Another thing I should mention is, let's say you don't know very much about the Pattern Trading System 1, which honestly I don't know very much about Pattern Trading System 1, And the great thing about MetaStock is it has a lot of great learning tools and tools that help you really understand what's going on. So if I click on the and open up what we call the commentary on the expert advisor, that gives you a description, I won't go into it right now, of what that system is and how it performs. And if you see this black arrow right here, it tells you why it's calling out a buy signal today. It's saying enter long today with a MOC order at the market price on today's open. And then it goes into down here a description of what the system is and how it works. And of course, some will be more detailed than others. All right, so now you may be asking yourself by now, hey, how do I get my hands on Performance Systems Plus? And it just so happens I can tell you. All right, Performance Systems Plus is a one-time cost of $299, which includes, again, 80 systems which are all testable, scannable, all have expert advisors, and are all open sourced. And again, the most popular, I should say, best-selling add-on in the history of MetaStock. Also, don't forget, all of our non-subscription products come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If before 30 days are up, you don't like it, give us a call, and we'll refund your money, no problem. In order to get a hold of us, you can call our 800 number. You can chat with us at metastock.com/saleschat, or you can visit metastock.com. That woman will not answer the phone. That's a stock photograph. But I can assure you that whomever does answer the phone will be very knowledgeable about MetaStock and trading in general, and of course, Performance Systems Plus. Okay, thank you so much. That's about it. Thanks for taking the time to watch this presentation. Hey, if you have Performance Systems Plus or MetaStock, we'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below. If you have any questions about MetaStock, don't hesitate to contact us or go ahead and ask them in the comments below. Thank you so much and successful trading.